All right, in this problem, we're given three different functions, and we're trying to find out which one of these statements is true. So let's go ahead and get started with number one. It says that functions b and c have the same zeros. So let's take a quick look at the function b. This one's quite easy to find the zeros. You would just set x plus 2 equal to 0, which would mean that we'd have an x-intercept, or a 0, of -2. And then the other x plus 6, if we set that equal to 0, then x would be -6. So those are our two zeros, or x-intercepts, for b. Now for c, we can visually tell our x-intercepts are at -2 and -4. So they're not the same. That one's not correct. Number 2 says that a and b have the same y-intercept. Now, this first function a here, because it's written in slope y-intercept form, we can find that the y-intercept is pretty easy. Remember, slope y-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where b represents the y-intercept. So we can see that the y-intercept here is 4. Now let's compare that to the y-intercept of the b function. Now, because that one's not written in slope y-intercept form, what we're going to do is we're going to replace x with a 0, because a y-intercept would always have an x value of 0. So it'll become 0 plus 2 multiplied by 0 plus 6. And then basically what we're doing is we're solving for y. And y is going to be equal to that, so that's 2 times 6, which is 12. Obviously, 4 and 12 are not the same, so they do not have the same y-intercept. Now let's look at the third one. It says that b has a minimum and c has a maximum. Well, c definitely has a maximum. We can see it right here. That's our maximum right there. Everything is below it. How do we tell if b has a minimum? Well, you could graph it, but also if you understand how quadratic equations work, you should know that in the format y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, our coefficient in front of the x squared here, if it's positive, that means it is a parabola that opens upwards, which means we have a minimum. And we can see that's the case here. There's no negative in front of this, right? There's no negative a. So because of that, we know that this is a parabola that opens upwards, therefore it has a minimum. So this is definitely true. All right, that's all for this video, and thanks for visiting JD's Preparation.